According to the UNOS, one organ can save 8 lives. In the past year, there has been 12,211 organ donors. However, there are over 116,000 that are on the waiting list. I am accredited to speak on this topic because I've done my own research over the past on this topic. My last research consisted of why people may or may not want to be organ donors. This topic is relevant to you guys because when it is your time to pass, you want people to know how you feel about them, and you want to also know what you want people to say and what happens with your body when you do pass. Organ donation is a huge issue in our world, and everyone should understand the effect of the choice that they make if they decide to be an organ donor or if they decide not to. We need to take action steps in order for people to understand organ donation. The issue is that there are over 20 people who die every day while waiting for an organ donation. We need to understand that there is a need for organ donation. We also need to create solutions on this issue. And we also have to look at how the world would be if correct actions were taken. And also we need to understand what we can do ourselves to lower the issue. People who may not say yes to being an organ donor may not understand that there is a need for organ donation. Like I said before, there's over 116,000 people who are on the transplant waiting list, and every 10 minutes there is someone who is added to that list. There are many, even though there are many transplants happening through each day, there are still a number of people who will die while waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. In fact, there are over 20 people who die each day while waiting. People need to understand the need for organ donation, and then they can learn. The way they can learn about that is through education. So the solution to decrease this issue is through educating in school systems and also educating physicians in the healthcare system. We need to educate students on the topic of organ donation and transplant. So according to one of my articles, it's called Education on Organ Donation and Transplant in Schools. It was a survey done between 10 and 12-year-olds, and they were educated about organ donations. And the result of this was that these 10 to 12-year-olds went through this education class and were able to have an open family discussion with their family at the end. So I do not believe, there is no age limit for education on organ donation, and once a child understands their rights, they should be educated on this topic. We need to also educate these students how to talk to their family members about organ donations. And according to pediatric transplantation, there was studies that were, there were 6 of the 9 studies that were done which proved for successful family discussions throughout after they were educated. We also need to give more information on how to register, and there was another article that I read. It was called An Awareness Regarding Body and Organ Donation Amongst Population of an Urban City in India. And it they were able to do education research and also just educating these people in the urban cities of India, and they also included afterwards, they included handouts and brochures, and this just talked about how they can register to be an organ donation or an organ donor. And this study showed that it was very successful in helping people be educated over the facts. Another area that people need to be educated on are physicians. Physicians need to be educated so they can inform their patients about the options with organ donation. We need to educate them on the issue of lack of organ donation so they feel more confident when talking to their patients. We also need to make sure that they know how to effectively and properly educate their patients. since it is a touchy subject. If we educated people in schools and healthcare systems, people may be more willing to become organ donors because they're able to make more educated choice. So with that being said, there would not be as much people dying from organ donation. If we educated people, the world would look a lot different because there would not be a lot of people who die from the lack of organ donation, and also people will be able to make a more educated choice and understand their beliefs better. Education is an important factor when dealing with organ donation. Once people understand the issue and solutions of organ donation, they'll be able to make a more educated choice. With that being said, we need to understand there is a need for organ donation, create solutions on this issue, and look at how the world would be if the correct actions were taken. And we also need to understand what we can do ourselves to lower the issue. Organ donation is a huge issue in our world today, and everyone should understand that their choices affect others' lives. We need to take action steps in order for people to understand the pros and the cons for organ donation. The next step that I want you guys to do would be to go ask your family members if they are donors and have an open discussion with them. Be willing to talk to them about your thoughts on organ donation and understand what their side is, and just have a discussion with them just so you know where they stand with it. If you would like more information, you can go to www.organdonor.gov. Thank you.